Welcome back, me. I lived in Los Angeles for 21 years, and I very suddenly ran away in 2022. Most of the people I know still live there, and you can already see there are a lot of examples in, like, with all the tech stuff I talk about, you can see the paradigm of breaking things on purpose and then rebuilding them in a new way. I think this has been happening with the public school system for a long time. Tech news is coming back. Might start back up. I watched so much Los Angeles fire porn over the past few weeks. I don't scroll very much, but I have been scrolling a lot. I've been allowing the algorithm to shape my consciousness. And one thing I noticed was a lot of fake fire footage, like romanticized Los Angeles disaster footage, which is interesting with Neptune's ingress into Aries. Obviously, we're going to be seeing a lot more of that. Like, not just, I wasn't seeing just like pictures of the Hollywood sign burning, pictures of downtown burning, which is fake, but even also just like regular pictures of like streets and stuff on fire that people generated. And Neptune in Aries also has a correlation with the Civil War and the introduction of war photography. That was the first time people actually were seeing the carnage, people who weren't close to it at all. So I think of this, like a lot of the fake footage I saw and heard. I saw one video that it had a fake audio, but it was designed to be really lifelike, and it was very like theater and very haunting. But thinking of this as an evolution of that introduction of war photography, people being able to see things from far away, that is now being amplified, taken to a whole other level. Like this world where we have the tools to make whatever images we want, and we're incentivized to distribute them for attention, because attention is currency. Okay, I just recorded the whole video only to realize that I wasn't recording, because I got up and I paused the recording, and so it looked like I was recording, but I forgot to unpause it. So I just said the whole video. I made the whole video and now I have to make it again. So where was I? I don't even know. I said so many things. I went on this whole monologue about that. One thing I know that I talked about was I keep talking about how now when the moon is in Taurus, it's squaring Pluto in Aquarius. So our need for stability and our ability to get the type of stability that we need as human bodies, consistency and earthly pleasures that nurture us, is going to always be squaring Pluto for the next 2 decades. So in conflict with the advancing smart city infrastructure. You can watch my original Pluto and Aquarius video if you haven't seen it yet. It's so frustrating now to re-record this. And so I'm distracted now. I lost my train of thought because I'm having to record this again. When the moon is in its sign of its exaltation, so getting the best of what our bodies and homes need, then it's at odds with corruption within the infrastructure. And the moon was in Taurus when the fires in Los Angeles happened. So that's a terrible, a very literal example of what I've been talking about with the moon in Taurus squaring Pluto in Aquarius. In other news, this is the calendar. It is on sale now because the year has begun. It comes with the special edition, which is the black version. It looks a little different. It also comes with a PDF of this version that's printable. I started making this calendar in 2022 because I wanted like a desk blotter astrology calendar that I could write on. And the calendar also comes with a digital transit calendar that's tailored to your natal chart, so you can get notifications on your phone. Monday and Tuesday are kind of gritty. The sun is in Aquarius now, so what are you running away from? And how is that a way to heal something that you don't even know what it is, or something that you're avoiding addressing? Or what groups of people are you associating with it as a way to avoid sticking out on your own? The first part of the week is like Monday and Tuesday are kind of gnarly, and then Wednesday you get like kind of a break, kind of a prep day, and then Thursday is a whole lot, but we'll get to it. Monday is just the moon squaring Mercury and squaring Mars. So that's the moon is the activator of the zodiac. We've just seen what Mars in Cancer, Mars in its worst condition of the zodiac possible, retrograde in Cancer. I mean, there are definitely ways it could also be worse. It could be like squaring Saturn too, but we've seen how terrible Mars in Cancer can be, and the moon is here to activate that. So whether it activates feelings around what just happened or some other type of violence or arguments, it's the moon. Mercury is about to oppose Mars. So just keep an eye out for picking fights or how you might advance conflicts on Monday and Tuesday, and also look at how you might avoid conflict, because Mars retrograde mostly wants to avoid conflict and then has like explosions where that can be way worse because you tried to avoid conflict. So sometimes conflict is necessary and healthy. So if it happens, you didn't do anything wrong, hopefully. So if it happens, sometimes conflict needs to happen. But that's Monday. It's just like, if you have a to-do list, if you can like engineer solutions, check things off your to-do list. If you have something that's like maybe not so creative and more like task-oriented or requires some like brute force or cognitive bandwidth, Monday's good for that. Also, on early Tuesday morning, we have the moon early Tuesday morning, we have the sun's conjunction with Pluto. So that's something the sun illuminates. Pluto is more underhanded, undermining about things in the shadows or repressed or intentionally hidden, concealed corruption or forms of power that are underhanded. So Monday could also have something to do with like illuminating, like for the fires specifically, illuminating some of the corruption within the infrastructure, or there could be something with like leadership and the corrupt infrastructure that is going on behind the scenes that we don't hear about. And then the sun conjoining Pluto also just has a general signature of power struggles. So that could be something that comes up on Monday. Tuesday, again, the sun conjoining Pluto in Aquarius goes exact early in the morning. And then the sun enters Scorpio, so it gets even better. I'm kidding. The moon in Scorpio then squares Pluto. So the moon, activator of the zodiac, also squares the sun. Whatever happened on Monday or whatever that is about the sun conjoining Pluto is also made real, somehow manifested. It's activated immediately. And that's the moon squaring the sun is the moon entering its third quarter. So we're winding down. We have the dark moon in Aquarius next week. So we're trying to finish things. This isn't really a time to start things. It's better for finishing things with Mars retrograde. And the moon in Scorpio is the moon in the sign of its fall. So uncomfortable Tuesday. Wednesday, like I said, you get kind of a break. It's just the moon trining Saturn at the late afternoon, evening, depending on where you are in North America. So take care of business and take care of your body. It's the moon in Scorpio trining Saturn in Pisces. You might not want to take care of your body, but if you do the Saturn-like things, if you're dutiful with taking care of yourself, it might give you more comfort later instead of couch rotting on Wednesday. So maybe get a gentle workout in, eat things that are good for you instead of some trash that doesn't make you feel good in the long run. Wednesday is also sort of a prep day for Thursday because Thursday is a lot. So if you don't have anything to do on Wednesday, find something to do. Look busy. Jesus is coming. Maybe Wednesday is a good day to meal prep because you won't have time to cook yourself a gourmet healthy meal on Thursday probably because there's so much happening. Wednesday night is also pretty nice. The moon's applying to a trine with Venus that goes exact just after midnight Pacific time. So if you get your work done on Wednesday, you could have a nice time, something maybe relaxing on Wednesday night, just knowing that you had to suit up for battle on Thursday, probably. So Thursday is a lot. It starts out with the moon sextiling Mercury in Capricorn. So that's the moon in Scorpio sextiling Mercury in Capricorn. Maybe you have an early morning conference call or something about maybe something kind of raw or gnarly. And also early in the morning, Mars makes a sextile with Uranus. So there's something surprising and explosive. And it's Mars in the sign in its most brutal and potentially violent condition, sextile Uranus in Taurus. Taurus likes stability. Uranus breaks things. So although it's a sextile, it's an easier form of contact between Mars and Uranus. It could be constructive. Again, if you're like making headway on your to-do list, you could have a breakthrough depending on how Mars and Uranus function for you personally. But there is something quite like explosive and busy and surprising about Thursday, because the moon comes in and activates all of this immediately. The moon immediately, like right after the Mars-Uranus trine goes exact, the moon comes in and activates it, trines Mars, opposes Uranus. It's the moon in Scorpio, so fallen moon, trining fallen Mars. There's something like down and dirty, uncomfortable form of something constructive, maybe, or maybe just like whatever devastation emotionally or otherwise is lurking could just have the means to like really manifest in a powerful way again, which is why it's good if you're prepped and ready by doing that work on Wednesday. Then Mercury opposes Mars, so again, we're getting themes of Monday, all day Thursday, those themes of like understanding when it's appropriate to pick a fight, and sometimes conflict is necessary. So what is your part in fanning the flames, as it were, and also just, even if you do have a part, maybe it needs to happen. Mercury in Capricorn is speaking very frankly, and Mars retrograde in Cancer has a savage need to protect itself. So there might be a conflict between just speaking things very matter-of-factly and it really stinging on the other end, the other person receiving that, and it could result in some form of lashing out, and that's sort of the theme of potential theme of Thursday. Mercury also trines Uranus. So again, the element of surprise on Thursday is big. Thursday is very busy and it's not going to go how you plan, probably. Things start to settle down in the afternoon when Mars trines Neptune in Pisces. So you might get like some form of soothing or escapist, like take your ball and go home and watch a movie. And at night, some of that has the potential to lift slightly when the moon enters Sagittarius. So that's a little bit more of a party energy. So at least so the second half of Thursday, you might just be like, I need to get away from all this and like have some self-soothing and then go out and do something fun. The moon makes constructive, like a sextile, more constructive contact with Pluto on Thursday night. And it's like, I've called this the moon in Sagittarius sextiling Pluto in Aquarius, the Neuralink aspect. So get excited to upload your natural human ability to make contact with the spirit realm to the global superintelligence, because AI needs us maybe more than we need AI. Friday is a little more simple. The moon makes the sextile with the sun, and so one hand can see what the other hand is doing. Maybe we're more effective because things have calmed down a little bit, and the moon opposes Jupiter for most of the day. So Friday has more of an optimistic, or at least like wind at your sails mood. But Friday night, that'll be complicated because then the moon in Sagittarius is squaring Saturn in Pisces. So your desire for like more party time after like things lightening up Thursday night and then having a mostly positive, if a little bit all over the place, Friday night, it gets more somber. Like it might get a little more serious. There's like a heavy weight to Friday night as opposed to Thursday night. Saturday, the moon squares Venus, and Saturday is kind of complicated with exalted Venus trining fallen Mars. The moon in Sagittarius squaring Venus in Pisces. Both give me a sense of like there's a form of letting go that you can have. Is it just like let loose and go have an adventure, or forget about the adventure, stop having FOMO and do something sumptuous and peaceful? And with the square, it's like you can have one or the other, you can't have both, and if you do, something is compromised. But it could just be like powerful, exciting, getting out and moving, but also wanting something peaceful and experiencing beauty. Anyway, it's a square, and you could get carried away. Saturday night into Sunday gives me a feeling of like some sort of affair, like go out and meet someone and have some sort of interaction that maybe you might regret later. It's exalted Venus making some sort of constructive contact with Mars, savage Mars, retrograding Cancer. There's something like the savage Mars really appreciates this like peaceful beauty, and Venus in Pisces can really use somehow that like savage energy. So you can see kind of all the places that could go. The moon is squaring Neptune on Sunday night. So just watch out, like Venus in Pisces with Neptune, the moon squaring Neptune. There's something about like discernment. I like the word for like Venus in Pisces trining Mars in Cancer, Mars retrograding Cancer. The word salacious comes to mind, especially with the moon squaring Neptune situation. For some reason my hair is really staticky and it's like sticking to my face now, and that's very distracting. So Sunday the moon moves into Capricorn first thing in the morning, which is another reason why I'm feeling themes of like it's salacious, and there are themes about discernment on Saturday night, because when you wake up in the morning on Sunday you'll be like, what have I done? Or there'll be a much more serious, practical, down-to-earth mood. There's moon in Capricorn is like your ambitions can override your motivation to take care of your body. It can also be, I see a lot of moon in Capricorn people who are like really good at working out, almost like too good, because that could be a thing too. So it's almost just like get up and strategize. But there's also, Sunday makes me think after whatever happened on Saturday night, you're already obligated to like go to brunch with your coworkers, so you have to like put yourself together, which is maybe not necessarily what you want to be doing after whatever Saturday night was. So you have to make yourself look presentable and be professional, even though you want like maybe some hair of the dog and to be in front of the TV or scroll or something. But after brunch with your coworkers, it feels potentially artistic on Sunday. We have Mercury sextiling Neptune and Venus sextiling Uranus. So a little more surprise, a little more like literary romance. On Sunday, you can plan on maybe not having to really figure things out, but more like experiment and play. It's our things close to us, like our intelligence, our ability to relate and experience beauty and pleasure and each other, and our ability to communicate. They're both making contact with larger themes, with larger stories, and depending on what you're up to creatively, and making contact with like beings from another dimension. They're traveling through your timeline on Sunday. And enjoy that, because Venus goes into shadow next week. So then all things Venusian are going to be worthy of a side eye, like turning into a whole story for like a couple months. Take care of each other, pray for each other, and remember your Wi-Fi is a camera that can see through walls.